If you learn and accept and embrace your story and you share it, all the love that you never got, people will love you because they want to see people survive. My mother had paranoid schizophrenia. She got behind the wheel and she said that there was somebody after her, and she believed it. I mean, she was totally like panicking, and she was racing down the road and slammed the car into a tree, and my cousin and I went through the windshield. So that eventually was the reason why we were taken away. We were put into our first foster home at 7 years old. I always include my cousin because her and I were inseparable, and we wouldn't listen to the rules and the regulations of the home. That within a week of being there, they separated us. So that's basically like my start into foster care. Foster care is, it's almost like a completely different world that is happening among everybody as they're walking the streets, and you don't understand or realize that the person next to you is being taken from home to home to home. They're having to learn new rules and regulations, and nobody's following your lifeline. And so it's like when you have that trash bag and you go from home to home, that trash bag becomes your parents and, you know, the world around you, because it's the only thing that stayed with you. And then you get to a point where you're 18 years old and they say, okay, you're done. And then you're out on the streets and it's over with. And you have to learn how to do everything. I couldn't even write a check. I had no idea how to do that. So the simple basic things that your parents teach you, I hadn't been taught that. The journey through foster care is just something that's just out of this world. It's really hard to explain, so I can just tell you the truth of what my experience was. By the time I reached 18 years old, I had lived in 35 places. I had 18 social workers, and my name changed 4 times. And I mean name as in your first and last name. So I was constantly having to change my entire persona, like being a chameleon everywhere I went. A majority of people are lucky enough to have their parents, right? And the anchor for me was, it's almost like of being disassociated, where you are looking on the other side at the way other people live, and you in your brain are positioning yourself there. And what I mean by that, which sounds kind of like ooh, but movies were my anchor, and I would spend all day with the door closed in a bedroom, movie after movie after movie. If I wanted an adventure, I would watch The Goonies. If I wanted to see a loving, family, I would watch Full House. I lived my life and learned my values and morals through television and film. That was my anchor. It really did save my life. I really believe that. You have statistics in foster care. You're going to be homeless and uneducated, and you're going to have you're going to go to jail, and you're, all of these things. So I had to write my cousin's story into this. By the time she was 14, she got pregnant, and it was by a drug dealer. By the time she was 15, she was in prison because she was caught with cocaine. By the time she was 16, she dropped out of school because she was having a lot of issues. By the time she was 18, she was raped and murdered and left on the side of the road, covered in pine needles, just left on the road. I had to tell this story to people, that my story matters because your story matters. And if you learn and accept and embrace your story and you share it, all the love that you never got, people will love you because they want to see people survive, and that story will continue on. Stories are what we learn from. It's how we grow. It's our entire lives are stories, and my story is no different than or more important than anybody else's. But like when we share them, I get something from you and you get something from me. And what it causes is empathy and compassion. All right. So My Sky is Falling, started out as a classroom project at Columbia University, and then they wanted somebody who had been through foster care to share their stories so that the class could, understand what's really going on out here. My story is the thread and fiber of My Sky is Falling, and every single detail from the time that I was born into this world until now, and every texture and layer is built into this. And so basically there's this such a cool, rad experience where people are coming in as participants and they have no idea it's about foster care. They're going in to experience whatever we're throwing at them.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone get against the wall. Get against the wall. Down 13s are invading.
Basically, the main thing is to provoke emotion in them.
Are you still with us? Do you guys come with us?
We don't have to recycle the trauma and abuse, and we don't have to do to our children what was done to us. We can accept and embrace our stories and do something with it. So My Sky is Falling is exactly that. It's really to raise awareness and teach and share and to provoke emotion in people so they take their experience and they tell their mother, their father, their friends, their sisters, and then the story continues. Because if you can put people through an experience and put them through something where they feel emotions in an organic and very natural way, it's the human condition. And that's when I knew that we were doing something that is just it's unworldly. Hi, my name is Lydia Joyner, and please subscribe to THNKR. Peace.